Shopping for a blender can be difficult. There are a lot of different options at varying price points, all of which promise to blend the perfect smoothie. To help you out, we had a professional chef blend pounds of produce, vegetables, nuts, ice, and more to determine which blenders were the best at multiple price points. For practical testing, we narrowed down the vast blender market to 8 blender finalists by consulting user reviews online. Ultimately, our best mid-range blender was the Cuisinart CBT 2000. If blending is part of your daily life and you're looking for a high-quality, durable machine, the Vitamix A3500 is a good choice for you. It is expensive, so we've labeled this our high-end pick. On the other hand, the Clean Blend 2001 was our lower-priced pick. While it isn't the best at processing nut butters, the Clean Blend provides good blending power and a 5-year warranty for around $250. This long of a warranty is unique among low-end blenders. For more details on our test results, check out our website, yourbestdigs.com. Our posts are completely unsponsored and 100% free of any bias or brand preference. Before we go more in depth into our top picks, here are some general features that we found important when testing our finalists. You'll notice a lot of brands highlight their blender's ability to reach between 2 and 3 horsepower, or 3,000 plus RPMs. These claims can be misleading, as they often don't translate to practical power. A blender's max power, or high RPM count, is often only maintained for a couple of seconds during the pulse function. Instead of relying on horsepower or RPM, we recommend checking out a blender's wattage. The higher the wattage, the smoother your smoothie. Higher wattage also will extend your blender's motor life. Good blenders are usually between 1100 and 1800 watts. Also keep in mind the shape of your blender's jar. A tapered jar is better for a wider range of blender tasks, because it creates a tighter, more efficient vortex for drawing up food that settles at the bottom of the blender. Finally, you want to consider where the blender's blades are located inside the jar. We found that blenders with the least amount of space between the jar and the blades are the best, because they prevent food from getting stuck on the bottom or the sides. Those were our important features to consider. Now let's get into how we tested. Our first test for our blenders was simply crushing ice. We added 2 cups of ice to each blender and timed how long it took for the ice to get to a snowy consistency. Next, we used our blenders to make fruit smoothies. We chose raspberry smoothies so we could assess which blenders were best at pulverizing the tiny raspberry seeds. We also used our blenders to make green smoothies to check how well our finalists were able to handle the notoriously tough kale. After that, we made hollandaise sauce. This test was particularly eye-opening because it highlighted the importance of jar shape and blade position. Jars that had no tapering failed this test miserably because the egg yolks got stuck at the bottom of the jar. All of our blenders did well at making tomato basil soup, but we thought the hot soup option offered by half of our finalists was a nice plus. When using this feature, the soup comes out hot, so you don't have to heat it up. The most difficult test for our finalists was making peanut butter. This test was difficult, not only because it put our finalists' motors to the test, but also because blade position and jar shape were crucial to the ease of blending peanuts. Many of our finalists' blades would trap peanuts underneath or splatter them along the sides, so that we had to scrape the sides of the jar constantly. For more details on these tests, including which recipes we used, check out the full blender review at yourbestdigs.com. After creating a wide array of blended foods, we selected our best blenders for high, mid-range, and low price points. Our top luxury pick was the Vitamix A3500. The Vitamix lived up to its hype by performing well on all our tests, with the exception of the hollandaise sauce test. Firstly, the Vitamix preset smoothie function takes a quick 50 seconds and delivers the smoothie with the best consistency. None of the other finalists could grind raspberry seeds as well as this blender. This same smoothie preset works well for green smoothies too. We were able to throw in entire stalks of kale and whole apples and still get a smoothie that had the consistency of a super refined juice. The Vitamix hot soup feature is a plus because it allows you to make a creamy hot soup in less than 6 minutes. Our mid-range pick, the Cuisinart CBT 2000, also had a hot soup option that worked well, but our low-price pick did not heat soup. It should be noted that if you use the Vitamix to make peanut butter, you have to use a minimum of 4 cups of nuts. If you use less than this amount, the nuts get stuck under the blender's blades. However, when you do use enough peanuts, this blender can make a nice peanut butter in about 2 minutes. The only test the Vitamix failed was the hollandaise sauce. When trying to beat the eggs for the sauce, we found the eggs just whizzed underneath the blades. When we cranked up the speed, the vortex brought up the eggs to the blades, but still failed to beat them. Another negative point about this blender, although more nitpicky, is that there is no click to indicate when the 2 plastic tabs, which fasten the lid, have been secured. It left us feeling a bit unsure if we had fastened the lid adequately. The Vitamix 35-second auto clean program cleans the blender all the way up to its lid, which is a plus. This auto clean program worked a bit better than that of the Cuisinarts. At almost $600, this blender is truly an investment. However, if blending is a part of your daily routine, we believe the Vitamix is worth the money because of its durable construction and the outstanding consistency of its smoothies and soups. This blender is also unique in that it comes with a 10-year warranty. If you don't want to spend over $500, you should know that the Cuisinart CBT 2000 performed nearly as well as the Vitamix during testing, but it comes in at about half the price. The Cuisinart CBT 2000 is our best mid-range blender because it could virtually do everything the Vitamix did. This blender's preset options were handy and cost about $300. This blender's smoothie function lasts 45 seconds, 5 less than the Vitamix's, and creates a smoothie that is almost as perfect as the Vitamix's. The Cuisinart smoothie just had a few tiny seed bits. The Cuisinart had a separate function for green smoothies that lasts 1 minute and 30 seconds. It can also blend kale and apples down to a velvety consistency, matching the Vitamix's performance. Also like the Vitamix, the Cuisinart has a hot soup function that makes a nearly boiling hot soup in 6 minutes. While the Cuisinart soup did not have the same creamy emulsification as the Vitamix's, it was still a perfectly smooth soup. Peanut butter was a bit more of a chore for all of our blenders. The Cuisinart did a good job finally chopping peanuts on its lowest setting, but as we increased the speed to make butter, peanuts kept splattering up on the sides and under the blade. This means that you have to pause to scrape the sides of this blender every so often to make a good peanut butter. The Cuisinart also had problems making hollandaise sauce. Just like the Vitamix, this barely tapered blender was not able to emulsify eggs and butter in a tight vortex. This blender's auto clean function works fine for cleaning up smoothie and soup residue. However, for tougher messes such as peanut butter, you will have to run this program at least twice. The Cuisinart has a 1,677 watt motor, 177 more watts than the Vitamix's, and 5 handy pre-programmed functions. It makes smoothies and soups nearly as perfect as the Vitamix for half the price. Finally, for those who want to spend less on a blender, we recommend the Clean Blend 2001. The Clean Blend costs around $250 and clearly beats out our other lower-cost finalists. Outwardly, compared to our other top picks, the Clean Blend is very simple. It has no preset functions, only an on-off switch, a pulse switch, and a center knob for controlling speed. To crush ice, we used the pulse switch. It pulverized ice much more slowly than our other finalists, taking about a minute. This is odd for a blender that boasts an incredible 1800-watt motor, the highest wattage of our top picks. The clean blend's resulting ice was more granular than snowy. Despite this, the clean blend made a great smoothie. To begin, we gave this blender a couple of pulses to get the ice crushed, and then gently increased its speed from low to high. If you enjoy a more interactive role with your blender, more than watching a pre-programmed function, this blender is for you. Our kale and apple smoothie was completely smooth after 30 seconds in the clean blend, but our raspberry smoothie had some small seed bits left. This blender also was exceptional at making soup and hollandaise sauce. However, the clean blend does not heat soup while blending, so you will have to heat it up after. This blender's only real downfall was peanut butter. After several tedious minutes, constantly scraping peanuts that splattered on the sides or lodged under the blade, all we got was a finely chopped peanut paste. This blender is unique among lower-priced blenders because it comes with a 5-year warranty. It also easily outperformed other similarly priced options such as the Ninja and KitchenAid. If you want more details about our testing process and the other blenders we tested, check out the full review on yourbestdigs.com. Like the video? Have any questions? Don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Check out the link in the description for the full details from this review and many more. We'll see you next time on Your Best Digs.